You see this? You need this. Nah, don't say you don't, because I promise you, you do.
Wait, what is it, Flare J?
Well, I'm glad you asked, random citizen. This is Maeve, a lore story you need to get your hands on. Now, let me be clear before we get into this. This isn't an official lore story, but calling this a fanfic, frankly, would be insulting. This isn't that. It is so far above that if I told you it was a real lore story, written by a professional team of writers that Hi-Rez hired, you would believe me after reading it. The author, Wake Burns, has been working on this for 2.5 years now, carefully planning out everything in this story. He even went so far as to get art made and compose music for it. Different moments and characters in the story have wonderful songs made for them, and as for the art, you've seen some already since you saw the cover at the start of the video. You may also know the lead artist for the story, Vocox. If you don't remember the name, then maybe you'll remember some of the older art pieces they've made, since these pieces have made their way around the community quite a few times. Now, what about the story itself? Well, like I said, a lot of work has gone into it, and all that work really becomes apparent as you read it. 2.5 years is a long time to plan through a story as big as this one. The story has multiple arcs, and they all center around Maeve, as you could probably guess from the title. Now, maybe you're not a fan of Maeve. Well, for one, this story will make you a fan. Maeve is the centerpiece of this story, yes. All the events revolve around her in some way. But for the most part, all the other characters have a place in the story. So you'll often find yourself reading along, only to run into one or several of your favorite characters in this expansive world that Wake has taken and developed to an incredible extent. Well, it feels like the world you've all come to know and love from all of your hours of playing Paladins, except way more natural and detailed. Now, for example, imagine a world where every piece of a character's outfit had meaning. Look at Maeve, her coat, her hairband, her daggers. All this time, these have been nothing but cool visuals for us. But what if every single one of those things had a purpose that helped make her who she is? Now, that's only a glimpse of how deep and detailed this story really is. And isn't stuff like this what we've been wanting? Deep, meaningful lore for the characters we love. Stories that make us even more connected to them. You play a character a lot, you develop a bond with that character. But knowing where that character comes from and what they've been through, so you know exactly why they are who they are, that's more than a bond. That's something really special. We have been begging for more lore. We have been waiting so long for it. And somebody has gone out of his way to finally give that to us. Yeah, it may not be official, but think about it. What if you all decided you really liked it and decided to start talking about it? What if Hi-Rez saw it and ended up feeling the same way? What would that do for the lore of the game? If they took even a little inspiration from this absolute masterpiece, then I think the community would finally be able to get the lore that we deserve. Lore that makes you laugh, makes you smile, makes your heart race, and maybe even makes you cry. I know people who have cried reading this. Not gonna lie, it got to me quite a bit as well, and if it didn't, I wouldn't be here right now making this video. I wouldn't care enough to let you all know that you need to read this. You need to, and you can, right now. The first arc of the story is out, and more arcs are already on their way. It's all planned out, and if you want to help it come faster, you totally can. Read the first arc by clicking on the link to it in the description, and if you like it, consider supporting the author on Patreon. A link to that will also be below. Wake has a starting goal of 50 Patreons, and all money earned will go right to finishing the story. Hell, if support for this on Patreon blows up, it could one day be a comic or manga. Man, a full Paladins comic. How awesome does that sound? Anyway, when you're done reading, I have no doubts you'll want more. Man, I have no doubts you won't want to stop reading once you start. I know I definitely didn't. Then you'll end up getting to the end of the arc and oh so eagerly await more. Now, in case you don't want to read it, maybe you want to listen to it. Victoria is doing a reading of it over on her channel, so if you would prefer to hear the story that way, then head over and give her a sub. Link below. Now, whether you're going to be reading it or listening to it, go! What are you waiting for? Right now, go! Click a link, any link. I'm putting this in your face for your own good. You'll thank me. You will. Go on, get out of here. Enjoy, guys. I know you will.
I can